So here's the thing about cheese. I want to kind of explain a little bit because I think a lot of people get confused on carnivore and cheese, right? Because cheese is a dairy product. Dairy comes from cows. So there's some people that come to carnivore and they say, oh, you can have cheese. Others say, oh, I probably should avoid it. Here's why I say you can do it in hyper moderation. So here's the reason you want to be careful with cheese first and foremost. Cheese, when you eat it and you digest it, it has these, it creates these things called casomorphines. Casomorphines can bind to the body as it goes through that digestive process. It sends receptors to the brain that actually treat it like opioids. So for some people, when they say like, I'm addicted to cheese, yes, there's actually a chemical reaction in the body that's making you feel like you're addicted to eating more and more. So that can cause you to overeat that cheese. When you eat too much cheese, another thing that can happen is your body can convert that to glucose if you eat too much. So it'll start to convert that to glucose, and then you're going to start to lose the benefits of the carnivore diet because you're now introducing this high level of glucose into the bloodstream. So that's another thing you have to be careful of with cheese. Another thing is that some people, it's the dairy proteins that is just inflammatory to some people. It's not everybody, but for some people, it just messes with the gut and it doesn't work. So I typically tell people if you're going to try some cheese on a carnivore diet, it's perfectly fine. Best thing you can do is cut it out for 30 days, then slowly add it back in and see how your body adjusts to it. If you're one of those people that it's just an inflammatory food, you probably want to cut it out. If you're one of those people that can tolerate it, in hyper moderation. And when I say that, I'm usually referring to like an ounce or two at a time. So when you think about it, it shouldn't be the staple of your meal. It shouldn't be the main part of your meal. You shouldn't be topping a ton of your food with it. But if you're eating, 2 cheeseburgers and you cut an ounce of cheese and kind of put that on each burger, that's totally fine. If you're eating a steak and some eggs and you wanted 2 small slices of cheese on the side, totally fine. That's not going to be a problem. So that's what I mean when I say hyper moderation. You really want small amounts of it, because if you have large amounts of it and you're one of those people where it just triggers the brain into thinking, oh, this is like an opioid coming into the body, I need more and more, it's going to make it really difficult. So that's where I come from on that. Hopefully that makes sense to you, and hopefully that helps answers the question.